Today I'm going to talk with you, as you heard, about the brain, and what I say is not going to be true. The brain is very complex. I'm going to divide it into 3 parts, but our brain doesn't have isolated functions. In fact, the overlap of function happens tremendously. But we're going to walk through a metaphor that is going to help you to understand how the brain functions, to control behavior, thought and subconscious thought, or conscious and subconscious thought, and communication. Some of you are familiar with this model. It is very simplified, but here we go. So come along with me. I want you to put your hand in the air. And we're going to create our own model of how our brain operates. Are any of you familiar with this? Just nod if you are. Some of you are. Okay, good. So, and on Zoom, I can't see you, so I'm going to assume that some of you know and some of you don't. Here is your thumb. Fold your thumb in, and that represents your brain stem and your cerebellum. This is your survival brain. This part of your brain controls respiration. It controls your heart rate. It controls autopilot. And it controls fear, or fear is anchored there. Now fold your fingers over the top of your thumb. That part of your brain is your emotions. Now, let's go back underneath. When I said fear, we have to remember also that this is your fight, flight, freeze, and fawn response. Cover it up with your emotions. Now, your emotions, this part of your brain is called your mammalian brain, so your mammal brain. And some people call it your limbic brain. Some people call it your emotional brain. And some people call it various forms of that. Nonetheless, it controls memory, your emotions, your habits, and your attachments. And again, I'm lying. All of your brain has some of these controls, but we're simplifying. Now, over the top of that, we're going to put on your human brain. Take your other hand and fold it over the top. And this is your human brain. Now, why it's called human is because it's your thinking, it's your processing, it is your language center, it is your listening center. It is where imagination and consciousness is happening. Underneath, we're not always conscious. So here is where you reason and where you rationalize. Now you can rest your hands, and I'm going to take you on a story. You're driving your car on 52, Highway 52 out here. You're driving 60 miles an hour, and your attention is on this fabulous talk radio on the radio here, and you've got somebody in the car with you, and the two of you, this is your favorite person, it's your favorite topic, and as you're driving your car, your attention is on what this guy is saying. So if you can imagine with me, what topic do you like to listen to and learn about? And you're learning and concentrating really hard on this, and the two of you are interacting at the same time. Now, as this is happening, the lights go on the car ahead of you, the tail lights. And so you slow down. And you screech to a stop, and you're trying to get out of the way, and you're trying not to hit them, and your car goes like this, and you stop, but you don't hit them. And then you look in your rearview mirror, and you see a truck coming at you, and you're looking at it, and is that truck going to hit you or not going to hit you? And he's weaving, and then he doesn't hit you, but you hear in the back of that truck, what do they say on the radio? Now, judging by your faces, that doesn't seem like an even appropriate question. What the guys say on the radio is irrelevant. And that is because when you're thinking about the radio and what they're saying, your operating system is here. When the tail lights came on the car in front of you, you went zoom all the way to here. Forget the emotions, because that's autopilot to see the tail lights and react to taillights. You will do that before you have thought, before you have fear, before you have any emotional response to the taillights. Now, this part is subconscious, and we react in our subconscious many, many times without even realizing what our thinking brain is doing. Now, this happens also in our interactions with people. Because during our interactions with people, we can be thinking about something that reminds us of something, and we react differently. Some of you might remember the phrase that I had used from a previous speech. When there's a mountain of response to a molehill of problem, something else is going on. That would be, we're thinking here, conscious thought, kapow. We go into subconscious thought and we react. After this, we apply our emotions to it, and then we label with our language. So what we label isn't actually necessarily what happened. So that is how our subconscious and conscious interaction happen with our behavior, and our communication is impacted by what's going on underneath. And that is that. Thank you for joining me on my little story.